Very often when I'm coaching leaders to excellence in accountability, we are talking about what are the barriers to having a really exceptional accountability conversation. And before we get to barriers, we first have to define what is an exceptional accountability conversation. What makes that up? What's the recipe that makes that up? So I've got a graphic for you. When we think about using our emotional intelligence skills for leadership excellence and accountability, there are a few skills that we have to focus in on. And these are the ingredients that make up an exceptional accountability conversation. Inevitably, it helps you to navigate them a lot easier as a leader by maintaining control over a few things that you have control over and relinquishing control for the things that you do not have control over, namely how the other person responds and what they say. So when we think about, as a leader, stepping into an accountability conversation, basically what has happened is an expectation has been violated, a promise has been broken, or bad behavior has ensued. And so we've witnessed this or observed it, and we need to step in and have a conversation with our employee about what is going on. So primary derailer is a leader decides in advance the sequence which the conversation will go, and they are rigid in that sequence. That is a derailer because there is a lot of information as a leader we do not know when we go into those conversations. So a key skill is flexibility. Before that, to kick off an accountability conversation, empathy and assertiveness, we are constantly trying to balance the use of these skills in accountability conversations. And so we want to consider that this is a toggle, that we will slide the use of empathy and assertiveness. At some points of our dialogue, we're going to be leaning on assertiveness. We're going to be sharing our observations, the expectations, our thoughts, and our opinions. In other parts of the conversation, we're going to be using empathy. We're going to be listening with curiosity to understand quite deeply the recipe of variables that impacted the employee's performance, behavior, choices, what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And if we do not do a good job here, we really can't move anywhere in an accountability conversation. It will feel like, as a leader, you are banging your head against the brick wall. And part of you will also recognize, I'm going to be having this conversation again. So to ensure that the conversation or accountability conversation continues to go well, a leader must maintain a high level of flexibility throughout the use of their assertiveness and their empathy. And more so, the flexibility comes in three areas. When we're using empathy, our employee is going to be telling us things that are going on. Now, our job with empathy, a skill set, is to be able to use prompting statements and questions to extract everything from that employee's brain about what was going on. If we only get a little bit of information, it is hard for us to be objective about what really is going on because we only have some of the information. It's going to be difficult for us to move to problem solving because we haven't extracted all of the variables. So when we try to move to solutions, we might hear more excuses, more information come out, and that can be quite frustrating, which means we have to be flexible with our emotional self-awareness. Watch when we're being rigid, watch when we're actually elevating in our own emotions of frustration or anxiety or stress. When we put this formula together, leadership excellence results in being able to hold the space of accountability conversation for as long as is necessary to reach decision making, an outcome in which the employee has committed to the daily habits, values, behaviors, actions, and a timeline to achieve the expectation. That is the gold star of an accountability conversation, is that's where it lands. Anything else generally means that one or more of these variables as a leader has not gone well.